that changes the whole thing. Are they keeping him out? How long are they keeping him out? They're trying to condense a whole bunch of games in a short period of time, which can cause injury, especially these guys. Most of them weren't doing anything for months.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing just to come back from to play at that level.
Hey, you guys, it's FYF Sports. We back with another episode. This episode is actually going to be a special episode. We got our first special guest with us today, but before we get into all of that, we want Steph. Steph, you got anything to say before we get started with this? First thing you want to do is, we always want to make sure we give credit to our sponsors. Our sponsors are a big part of this show. They help keep us going. So again, before we dive right into this interview, because we got a lot of stuff we need to cover today, we're going to turn it over to Steph. We're going to let Steph break down our sponsors and give them credit.
The only crazy thing and only good thing about this is there's no good thing about it. We have 0 sponsors today. 0 sponsors.
Steph, your job is to get sponsors for the show, man. What's going on?
I thought it was our job. I thought we were a team.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so still no sponsors, you guys.
There's still no sponsors.
Again, make sure fans out there, make sure you're going to our Twitter and Instagram pages. Follow us there. If you got any questions or if you want to support us, definitely support us on social media. Reach out to us there. Comment, subscribe. Make sure you're reaching out to us directly through videos or through our DMs if you got any questions or concerns. And as we always say, if you reach out to us, we're going to reach back. But again, today, we got a special video. First interview for FYF Sports. We're bringing in, we have all of these debates when I speak with guys like Ticket TV, Too Raw for TV, and we debate. So again, I don't want to speak on these topics, man. I'm on a lot of expert, a mastermind of this basketball thing to do some of this talking. Today we have a renowned head coach out of the state of Arizona by the name of Matt Gordon, man. We're going to run down his list of accolades. Man, this man has a long list of accolades. Been 14 years coaching at Phoenix College, won over 300 games, went to 7 NJCAA national tournaments, 1 national championship in 2014, 3 Final Four appearances, 7 Region 1 championships, 7 District 1 championships, and 14 Region 1 championship game appearances. Man, like I said, there's not too many people got that type of accolade. So again, we're gonna welcome into the show, Coach Matt Gordon. Coach Matt Gordon, how you doing today?
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I'm glad I'm guest number 1 on FYF debates. See what I got to debate with you guys or answer any questions you may have. I just appreciate it, and whatever I can do to help you guys solve some debates as well.
Yes, sir. So, hey, but before we get on that, how did you even get into coaching? Like, what got you into coaching, and why'd you stick with it for so long?
Just a passion of mine growing up. Some kids want to be a cop or a firefighter or a banker or a doctor or a lawyer. I always wanted to coach and be in sports from day one. So I started coaching middle school kids when I was in high school. Went on to UCLA to work for the basketball team there as a student manager to grow my network. Coaching is about networking, so that led me to jobs at Cal State Northridge, University of Portland, and then to Phoenix College for 14 years.
Wow. See, so, for the guys that's watching this is that always try to come to us with these crazy statistics and facts about basketball, we want you to know that this guy, Matt Gordon, has an established basketball background that goes far beyond a lot of what you guys do, man. So, first question, and me and Steph been talking about a lot, Coach, is what do you think about the NBA return? The NBA, these guys have been out for a while, and not just about the NBA return, but what teams do you think are going to be most prepared, coming back from this long layoff?
This NBA thing, it's going to be interesting. Playing all at one place in Orlando at Disney World, and then with the whole layoff, having to go through like a training camp again, it's going to be interesting. And then health is a big thing. You know, if somebody gets hurt or sick or whatever, you know, that changes the whole thing. Are they keeping him out? How long are they keeping him out? They're trying to condense a whole bunch of games in a short period of time, which can cause injury, especially these guys. Most of them weren't doing anything for months.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing just to come back from, to play at that level. You or I could go down to the LA Fitness and play and have no issue.
Yep.
They're playing at such a high level, which I don't think the common fan understands. Even though it looks like they're not really putting a lot of effort in, it's crazy hard to do what they do on a daily basis. And that's why they're pros. It makes it look so easy what they're doing. So it'll be interesting. I think the team that can stay the healthiest with the most talent is probably the team that's going to finish this thing, because legs are important, and if you don't have legs, it's hard to shoot. And so, you know, shooting's the NBA now, so we'll see who can shoot the ball the best and battle fatigue. So roster depth will probably be a lot more important than it normally is in the playoffs. You know, NBA guys usually only play 7, 8, 9 guys in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Now they're going to have to probably go 10, 11, 12, 13 deep. Yeah. So the deepest roster is probably going to have an advantage.
Yeah, I just feel like it's going to be a lot of sloppy basketball as well. I mean, like you said, you have a lot of players that just, you know, lounging around. You have some that work out every, you know, once in a while, but I think it's going to be a lot of sloppy basketball. That's why, me personally, I feel like they should just, you know, scratch the season and just, you know, bring it back in November.
Yeah, I'm with you. The one good thing that could come about this is they can get through the playoffs in this 8-game like regular season, which for a lot of these teams is basically 8 exhibition games.
Yeah.
To get back into the playoffs. And then, what I do like is the NBA season next year starting in December. Yeah. I think that's a really big thing for the NBA and for basketball, because they're not going to compete with football as long. You know, they missed like 3 months of football, which nobody really watches the NBA until Christmas. I mean, unless you're a hardcore fan. So I think it's good that they'll have more time. They'll just be competing against baseball, and baseball has all their own problems right now. So
most definitely.
So basketball is going to become the summer sport, which will even give it more traction and make it a bigger event, a bigger thing. I think this can really help the NBA if they make their season from December to going through maybe August, I guess. August, September being the finals.
Yeah.
And then you go right into football season. So I think that for the sports fan, it could be tremendous.
Yeah, I also think like another good part of them, you know, just starting the season right now as well, is with the craziness that's going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? One thing that brings us together is, you know, sports. So I think that'll help, you know, with some of the, you know, craziness that's going on. And but yeah, I think that's one of the best parts of the, you know, NBA season coming back.
I agree. And I think, so if you want to get off topic a little, I think not having sports right now has united people more than ever and giving them a platform in a space where there's no other distractions to say what they really mean and do things that they normally probably wouldn't do.
Yeah.
And then sports now can bring us back together even stronger, like you said,
most definitely.
As a country, and it helps solve some problems, because the NBA guys will definitely be outspoken, which will be a good thing.
Hey, Coach, who's your favorite going into these playoffs? Condensed season.
Shoot, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to pick against LeBron. I think the Bucks are going to be tough just because they're deep.
Yeah, they're deep.
And Giannis is a difference maker. Those two would be my favorites. The Clippers are really deep too, like I said before. So I think they have a huge advantage. I would love to see the Clippers and the Lakers in the Western Finals. Out of the East, the Bucks and the Raptors. I don't even know who's in second or third. I couldn't even tell you right now.
Yeah, it's all about health at this point. It's all about who's healthy and ready to play. I mean, they don't have that long, you know, for you know, the little games that they have left. But I think it's all about the health.
Yeah, it'll be interesting too. It'll be interesting too. I mean, are you going to be able to live scout? Are you going to be able to do certain things? And I think they already have all their plays, but if there's nobody in the stands, they'll have every call, they'll have every. I mean, they better be the best players that end up winning, as opposed to, there's no home court advantage. So it's like the best team is going to win. You're not going to see. I don't think you'll see as many 7-game series or whatever, because there's no advantage to the lesser team.
Right. Yeah, I know. Me and Lamont had a debate over that recently about fans being in the stands and how who's with the home court advantage. I don't think that's going to play a factor if there's no fans. It's just playing regular scrimmage games. So I mean, it'll be interesting overall just to see how the NBA shapes up over these couple of months or whatnot, starting in July.
It's going to be crazy in terms of what the games look like, how motivated the guys are to play. I think this year, just get through it and get to December and start.
Right.
2020, whatever the next season is. I think that's more than anything. I think that's huge. I think the teams, not this year. I think then the teams like the Warriors and the teams that struggled this year. And I'm not saying this as a Warriors fan, but like they have a huge advantage over next year, because they wouldn't have gone through the playoffs, have a month and a half off, and have to start again.
Yes.
So like they have 9 months off, or almost a year off.
Right.
They're gonna be healthy, ready to go. Guys like the Nets, same thing. They might not make it past the first round, but you got KD and Kyrie who sat out for over a year.
Yeah.
They're gonna be ready to play.
KD's looking good.
And those other guys, LeBron could be done in October and have to start in December.
Yeah.
That's so true.
So with that being said, I'm glad you brought up the Warriors, because when I debate with these guys, it's a key player on the Warriors that they like to discuss. Now, I'm not going to say anything, because I don't want it to seem or sound as if I'm kind of leading you towards a certain opinion. I just want you to give me your input on Draymond Green and his value or non-value to the Golden State Warriors in their run in the past. Do you think he was deserving a lot of the awards and accolades that he collected? The Defensive Player of the Year, some of the defensive first teams. Like, do you think he was deserving of that? Do you feel it was a bit overrated, or do you think a lot of the stuff he does, is it going under the radar? Is it getting overlooked? Like, what is your thoughts on Draymond Green?
Winner. High school, winner.
Yeah.
College, winner. Golden State, winner. Now, does Draymond Green win when he's with some less talented guys? Probably not. He understands his value. His value's to make good players better and great. Mm-hmm. And good players make him great because he gives the ball to them in spots and makes them better. Like, he knows how to get the ball to Clay and Steph and set screens for him. I listened to his podcast the other day, AllTheSmoke with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson a few weeks back, and like the dude says, I want to be the best screener ever. Like, who says that? Like, that's Rodman stuff. And like, that's the value he brings to the normal fan. They're gonna be like, oh, he doesn't score, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. The dude he screens, he makes the extra pass, he defends 3 players at once. So like, if he's on a bad team,
he
probably
gets the
not.
intangibles.
Yeah, but on a bad team, like Rodman on a bad team wasn't very good. Like, okay, you can make that argument, but the Warriors don't win his championships without Draymond Green. I mean, it's not hard. He if he's in the right program with the right culture and the right players, he's a Hall of Famer, and that's what he should be.
Okay, now
He proved it in high school, college, and the NBA.
What you said that's the same argument that I use. I said everywhere he's he's always been a winner at every level, and that's no coincidence. And so now we're going to transition, taking that philosophy that you have on Draymond Green, and now we're going to get you thinking a little bit. Do you think that his style of play could transition into the 90s?
No doubt. He's a 90s player playing in 2015, 2020. you have to understand the 90s, if you guys are old enough to remember, they didn't score. They just defended and played. We just watched the Michael Jordan Last Dance. Unbelievable. The scores were 80 to 79, 90 80. The reason the Bulls were good is because they defended.
Yeah.
Jordan scored. Pippen, think about Scottie Pippen a little. Intangibles, winner. When he was with the right guys, they won championships. The dude didn't average more than 14 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And
the dude didn't, and he guarded 5 positions or 4 positions, a lot like Draymond did.
Right.
Like,
Can you break down, especially when you're dealing with basketball dummies? Because again, we live in a day and age, and I know you talk on this a lot, where a lot of people only see what happens on the offensive side of the court.
Right.
They don't really understand the value of a good defensive player like Draymond. Can you kind of break down some of the stuff he does defensively that the common fan won't really see or give him credit for?
Well, there's a couple instances, like when he's really locked in defensively, he can stop the ball, which means slow down the ball handler until his team can guard. Then he can go bluff and deny the shooter. And then if they swing the ball the other way, he can get over to take a charge or block the shot the opposite direction. The guy can guard 3 guys at once almost.
You're right.
If he's locked in. And in basketball, communication's huge. People don't understand how much talking is a key.
Yes.
He's one of the best talkers and communicators in the world. So therefore, he brings everybody else up defensively because he's talking for everybody.
Yeah.
Like Steph and Clay are probably not the best talkers, but when the Warriors were elite defensively, they had Bogut and Green. Those 2 guys are the best communicators on defense. Probably, I don't say the modern era, but right now, or war. Therefore, that's what made the Warriors elite on defense. The length, the switchability, and they talked better than anybody. Iguodala, same thing. Like, guys that just follow basketball care about Instagram highlights, Twitter, whatever, and the crazy dunks and layups and scoring, and forget about that you have to play defense over half the time.
Right.
You're not playing much offense.
Yeah, I just feel as if you haven't played this game, then most wouldn't know. And people like Draymond Green or people that just don't watch, hasn't played the game of basketball organized, they'll say, oh, well, he's trash. He doesn't do anything. He just sit there and does this. But he controls the game so much. It's crazy when he's locked in. Man, it's amazing to watch. I mean, just the little things he do, how he can turn the game around.
Correct, on both ends. And he just
both
scored.
ends.
Everybody watches his crappy jump shot, and he's the first to admit that it's not very good.
Yeah.
And if he could shoot the ball just a little better, and you're only talking, I think people forget, like, if you're 1 for 4 in a game, that's 25%. If you're 2 for 4, that's 1 shot. You're 50%.
Yep.
Like, people, it's 1 make. Like, and if he can make that 1 more shot, just being like 38% 3-point shooter, or 36. Now he's like, now people aren't going to talk about him.
Yep.
And he doesn't need to score to be good. That's what makes him great.
Yep. He's passionate about the game. He loves the game. I mean, and
you can't teach competition. You gotta be a competitor. You have to have an edge. Like, that's what makes the best the best. That's why Kobe was Kobe. That's why Jordan was Jordan.
That's very true, man. I try to break some of these ins and outs of the game down to some of these guys who try to say that he's overrated or just that he's trash, or they try to overlook some of the accolades and things that he's done in his career. Even some people went as far to say that he's begged for his defensive player of the year. And my argument was, you don't beg for that, defensive player of the year. You actually have to go out and earn that. So, but I
think he should actually have 2. But that's
he could. I mean, again, and that's arguable because he was second place. So
Kawhi, he didn't even play like the full season and got it.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's what he wanted.
You're never getting it back to back any awards really. That was what was amazing for like Steph getting back to back MVPs, or even Nash back in the day. You got to be really, really good to get back-to-back because they never want to give it the same award 2 years in a row.
That's true.
Kobe was robbed, but that's another conversation as well.
I agree. Jordan was robbed too.
Yeah,
LeBron's
Jordan.
been robbed. They've been the best players, but somebody else had a decent year that wasn't expected, so they got it. That's just a media thing. That ain't a basketball thing.
That's true.
I'm glad that you said that. I'm glad. I'm glad you said it because that's so true.
All right, man. Hey, well, Coach, we got to wrap this up. But again, we definitely appreciate you bringing your insights into FYF Sports today. Again, I'm curious to see what these guys who love to do this debate thing about Draymond Green. I'm curious to see what their reaction is, what they got to say in response to you. So definitely we'll let you know what they say in the comments or in our DMs about you. But again, we most definitely appreciate you spending some time with us today. We would love to have you back anytime.
Anytime, fellas. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it, Coach. All right, Steph, it's FYF Sports, man. We're going to get this wrapped up. Steph, you want to end with anything?
Oh, man, like I said, like I always say, thank everybody for tuning in, subscribing, liking. Man, it's just motivation. You're going to see our growth, as we go. So, thanks again, man. It's all love here, bro.
All right, FYF Sports, man. Again, appreciate all the love and support you guys have been giving us over, as far as subscribers go, with regards to our following on Twitter and Instagram. We definitely appreciate all the support. I think we're getting close to that 1,000 subscriber mark. So again, for everybody that's out there supporting, watching our videos, again, we definitely appreciate it. And again, don't hesitate to reach out to us online or in the comment section. We would love to interact with you guys a little bit more. Make sure you also go check out our debate page on Facebook. It's called NBA GOAT Talk. Just look it up on Facebook. Make sure you join. Again, we're going to have some giveaways and special offers for people who actually join there. We're going to be breaking news stories there. And again, some topics that you might not see online or on the air, we can speak about in those forums as well. So again, make sure you go join us on Facebook in the group NBA GOAT Talk. Other than that, we're going to wrap it up for today. We've been another great episode, and we can't wait to see y'all again. We out.